I'm Wyley Brown. I'm 19, gonna be 20 next month. I am currently going to Western Colorado University in Gunnison, Colorado, but I'm from Oahu in Hawaii. Growing up in Hawaii was definitely a very nice experience. It feels very normal to me. To other people, it might be kind of a crazy thing to think about. And I did play a lot of video games growing up. I wasn't much of an outdoorsy person. Three favorite video games of mine. There are so many to pick from, but the three that come to mind first would be Bending the Ink Machine, which is this horror game. It was the first horror game I played, and I liked it because it wasn't so heavy on the gameplay. There was just like a lot of exploration and puzzles going through an abandoned studio, a callback to the old rubber hose animation days. Another favorite game of mine is called Hollow Knight. It's a 2D platformer where you're just sort of exploring this forgotten some sort of world. I don't know. I enjoyed it because I liked the 2D animation style, and the characters were very interesting. The story was sort of very mysterious. The third favorite game that comes to mind is Noita. My number one, because I mean it's a pixel graphics, another 2D sort of a platformer game. It deals with all sorts of magical stuff, and it lets you sort of be very creative. I'm a PC gamer. I never really grew up playing with a console. The closest thing I had to that was the Xbox 360, which I got as a hand-me-down from my aunt. Like growing up, I would play any sort of flash game I could find on the internet. Then eventually I switched to Steam, which is this online game store. PC is my go-to nowadays. Growing up, my dad, I think, sort of introduced me early on to the old like arcade games. I got one of those little joysticks that it came with like a collection of old retro arcade games from Namco. So like Pac-Man, Galaga, Xevious, Mappy. These were like some of the, I really enjoyed these games growing up, but they were very simple. And then sort of when I was around maybe middle school and I started exploring the internet, I got into like escape games, which were like these sort of virtual escape rooms I could find online. And yeah. Memorable experience. I think I think one of the most memorable experiences I've had with a favorite video game of mine was more recent. I got into the Five Nights at Freddy's games, and I mean the first time I played it, I had only heard people talk about it, but I knew nothing about it, and it did freak me out. But I got really into it. And I can understand why it was why it was popular back in like 2014, and so I just played like the whole series, and that was a very interesting sort of experience. Yeah.
Okay, Wyley, thank you for your time. Anything else you would like to further add about video games?
Only that I apologize to anybody who watches this and hears me talk about these video games a bit vaguely. I just, I could go on about them for hours, and sometimes I have to stop myself. I don't want to get too out of hand.
Thanks a lot, Wyley.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.